This is a pretty like cut and dry one. Cody's buck.
Right.
Can you not fly a drone to find a deer in New York? Okay. If Cody had a drone there, he would have found that deer in 5 minutes, and he would have had his biggest buck ever. He would have got the meat. It would have been perfectly fine. Deer didn't go far. How far did it go? 200 yards. Just went into
missed it.
Just they walked by it. Even they just missed it. He would have had that deer. Now he's just got a skull, which it's cool that he found it.
Has closure.
But that's a way different deal than finding the deer, within probably that night he would have found it. That's a perfect example of like the proper use and that benefit. Like, didn't make that bad of a shot. Deer didn't go far. He put in the effort. So like all those three things are people like, oh, you're just going to make shit shots and then rely on a drone or a dog to find them. The deer died pretty quick. It's not like you've tracked it for 2 days and stayed on it. Like, no, that was an example of like, or I think a drone would have been a perfect application and situation for it. But then again, I hear stuff about like, I know in Ohio, as soon as that drone lands, you can go after the deer.
Right.
It's like, whoa.
Yeah.
That's like, yikes.
Welcome to the Just Hunt Podcast.
All right, everybody. Welcome to the Just Hunt Podcast, episode 43. We have the one and only Jon Lewis.
There's lots of Jon Lewises out there.
No. You're the one and only Just Hunt Club Jon Lewis.
There's some famous
World
guy.
famous.
I looked at it.
Is there?
Like he has like 1 million followers. I tried looking earlier, and that was the first name that popped up.
No. Sorry, John.
What's that? Mark. I can't really hear you very well, Matt.
He said there's a blue checkmark guy with 1 million followers with your name.
That's me.
Yeah.
That's your alias.
My alias. It's a JOHN, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
He does have an
That's
H.
my alias. Yeah. Yeah. Just throw that H in there.
What have you been up to, John?
Trying to, deal with the seasonal depression of living in the Northeast this time of the year after all the hunting seasons close. And you kind of look back at the last 6 months and go, wow, I didn't do a lot of things that I was supposed to. And then you look outside and say, I can't do anything outside because it's 4 degrees out and blowing 25 miles an hour. So, yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, by the time this comes out, it'll be past already, but we're supposed to get like 2 feet of snow. And it's going to be really cold tonight, tomorrow.
Always a wild card in this part of the country. Sometimes it's like we're through it at this point, and then you get a wild one in like April or something. But
well, this one I think is going to be all over the whole damn country. Well, even like the South.
I think they're getting snow down all the way. Yeah. I mean, I looked at where I hunt in Jersey, and it's like southern Jersey, and they're supposed to get just as much, if not more, than us up here.
Oh yeah.
Which they've gotten more snow down that way this year than in years past for sure. I mean, even like where I grew up. We were just back home and they got like 8 inches and we have nothing right now.
Oh, you don't have any snow?
Which is weird. It's like a dusting.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's so sporadic around here because it depends. Like up by Hanson's, they have snow. Even like 10 miles to the east, there's like 9 inches. It just is so pocketed with the valleys and lakes and everything like that.
Yeah, the weather's crazy. Hey, that seasonal depression thing, are you serious about that?
To an extent, I feel like I just like you kind of are in a like gloom this time of the year because the days are so short and like you don't have motivation. I don't know if it's like necessarily seasonal depression.
I think it is because I feel the same way, and I'm pretty sure that's what it is. I've actually I got really bad a couple years ago. Yeah, and I was like, "What is wrong with me?" My wife Jamie was like,
"You okay?
What's going on?" And I'm like, "I don't know." And then I'm like, "Man, I think it's the daylight. I think it's no sunlight." And so the last few years I've been like consciously trying to like combat it, and it seems to work. But it still seems like for whatever reason it's just everything drags and it's like a demotivating time of year. Like I'm motivated because it's the new year. And it's like lots to do, like let's get back on the grind, but it's like it feels like such a drag to get
Well, and I feel like it all depends on the region you're in, right? Because like out west, it's like your days are short, but it's sunny. Like here, it's like, we see the sun for 6 hours a week. It's just cloudy and just like gross. And then it's like with our daughter, it's like what are we supposed to do? Like I can't really do anything with you outside. You're not even 2 years old.
Yeah.
So you just like get stuck in the house, and it's just, it's not great.
I will say one thing though. I was having like skin issues. I've had eczema since I was a baby, so I get like every once in a while it'll flare up. My skin just starts like shedding. Basically, it's awful. My hands were cracking and uncomfortable. But I went to the dermatologist and they said my vitamin D was terribly low. So I started supplementing with that in the wintertime, and it seems like it helps quite a bit with like your energy levels and mood and stuff like that too.
Yeah, the sun's important.
It's really important, I think.
Yeah. Is that how you're combating it, Brett? You just going out and just kind of like waking up in the morning?
I try to as much as I can. No, physical activity, diet, being aware of it and trying to like think positive, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, getting sunlight when you can, if you can get outside. It's definitely tough though.
You should try the vitamin D thing seriously, because we're all covered up in the wintertime. So even if you are out in the sun, you don't have any any skin exposed really. So
I got this, so I'm in decent shape at least.
Yeah. Was I talking to you, Brett, about how bad sunglasses are? Was that the conversation we were talking about?
Probably, because I talk about that all the time now. Yeah, I think so. I don't wear them anymore. Unless it's like I can't see anything.
Really sunny, yeah.
Yeah, I really don't wear them. I think you need light in your eyes. Well, that's what they say, and I actually believe it. It makes sense. Like like all the things that I feel like life in the United States these days is like the furthest thing from natural, like from A to Z. Like it's just, and we wonder
Episode 43, the hippie episode.
That's right. It's coming full circle. Yeah. So anyway, just trying to do some of that stuff. It seems like that helps. But
you gotta be, you should be rubbing some of that dough butter on your skin that Cody's making. Cody and Alyssa are making.
I don't know.
What's that?
The where people make like skincare stuff out of deer fat.
Cody and Alyssa took a bunch of fat from the deer and made like tallow.
Yeah.
Tallow lotion.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, it's actually really good.
You tried it?
Yeah, he gave me some of it. It's awesome.
We got bear and beef tallow.
Yeah.
I didn't try deer though. We make that stuff. So I don't know, it works pretty good. We actually, we use some of it. But. So let's talk about your season, John, because you had another really good one, and you almost had an even better one. Kind of should have had an even better one.
Should have had an even better one. Yeah,
and I mean, like,
when did we have you on last? Was it like early October, end of September?
Yeah, it was good. I mean, it was kind of like a climb. Like it started off bad, and then it got better as the season went on.
That's true. Wait, there was
really a little plateau there that it was pretty bad, and then it kind of picked back up. But
better that way, I guess, than the other way around. You start off great, and then it just gets, by the end of it, you're like, I don't want to hunt anymore.
Yeah. I mean, the last month of the season was really good. And I had, I don't know, that PA buck that was like the pinnacle of the season for sure. That was just such a cool experience, especially when it's something that you've been trying to do for 4 or 5 years, to just kind of have it all. We talk about that, like 1% of, like doing 99% of it right and then missing out on that 1%. Yeah. I feel like that's a lot of hunting, right? Like you can do 99, and that's my struggle. Is I've always, not always, but I've had a lot of years where it's the 99% and the 1% of the execution. I've failed horrendously multiple times for many years. And ever since I just started closing my eyes and Jesus take the bullet or Jesus take the arrow, things have been just lining up a little better.
Okay, let's see this. So, how many bucks did you shoot at?
5.
And you killed 4? No, 3. Yes.
I hit all 5. I'm not laughing because we didn't get some of these. I'm not like demeaning the deer by any means, but
no, I know.
The first one was in Maine, which nobody's seen yet, because hopefully there'll be some redemption at some point. And that was just one of those no man land hits, above basically where shoulder and the spine come together, and that deer is fine. Luckily, so hold on. I shot at $5, hit $5, but I shot, if we're talking arrows,
Oh, jeez.
2 on the first one,
Yeah.
2 on the second one. So 50-50.
Okay, so
one on the third one. So
it's funny because, well, no, that's not true. Yeah, it's just you had the one you killed. Yeah, I don't know. I think the summer is a good time to relearn the.
to lock myself in the basement and
Yeah.
go through a serious boot camp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although with the gun, you seem to be able to do it pretty good.
The gun is, yeah, I mean, that's your equalizer. I mean, really, at the end of the day, bow hunting's freaking hard, no matter how you skin it. Whether you're a good shot and like things happen, I could be a better shot. I'm getting better, guys. I'm getting better. I've kind of slowed myself down, but even with the gun too, like I feel like sometimes like you get a gun in your hands and you think you're like this superpower, like I can do all these things because I have a gun. And I've noticed that with myself in the past, where I tend to rush more. At least I did, because I have a gun. Like you don't have to be perfect.
Yeah, sure.
So I worked on that a lot more this year, and like I never went through that phase, and I'm sure like you didn't either, just because of where you live. But like I think about like Fisher's a perfect example. Ethan's son. Like he lives in an area where he can get so many reps in on deer. Like he can shoot a bunch of does early. Like he can beat that, like those reps, and he's at that age where it's like, I kind of want to kill as much stuff as possible.
Yep.
Yeah.
And like that's like, I feel like part of the evolution of a hunter. When I was younger, I never had that opportunity or like was in that mindset. And then I got into waterfowl hunting, so I just never deer hunted. So like, I mean, my deer hunting was, it's good enough. Like I'm going to go deer hunting, which is terrible. Like that's not advice for anybody to like, you shouldn't do that because it doesn't work. You get lucky every now and then, but like the results are not good.
Yeah. A lot of people are like,
and I was always fortunate that like I never wounded deer. I either got lucky or I missed them. But like a lot of people just go through like, and they wound a pile of deer.
well, it's the funny because the one you actually like hit that may be dead. I mean, I'd say better chance than not. That was actually a really good shot. I think you made a really good shot. It was just crazy what happened. And you would have thought, I mean, I remember you sent me that video and I was like, yeah, he's dead now. Like, let's go get him. And
if I had $10 for the amount of people that were like, just go get him, you know, and you're talking guys that do this a lot and see a lot of stuff. It's like, that was a rough one because that was mentally really like messed me up because I was like, I finally felt like I like, did what I needed to do, executed, like pulled it off and felt really good about it. And then it was like a freak thing happened, which, is, but I still don't know what happened with that. I mean, we had the guy come out to look for it who does, recovers hundreds and hundreds of deer a year. And for him to be like, this is probably one of the crazier ones that I've ever seen. Granted, we have footage of it, right? So we can actually see it. And he's not just going off of what somebody says.
So,
it's like,
for those who didn't see the video, you hit a buck in, are we saying the state or no?
We can.
Did we?
I don't know.
Whatever.
In the Midwest.
Midwest public land state. And good buck. And what was it, 35 yards?
32, yeah.
32, you stopped him, right?
Yep.
And you shot, and you hit, I think, I mean, maybe you could have been a little bit low back from where you were, maybe. But, like, basically in the vital V, I would say, well within it, it seemed like. But it seemed like...
if anything, it was a tiny bit forward.
Yeah.
If anything.
And I think it compounded with the fact that it looks like the buck ducked and kind of like turned away, so it almost pushed a little further forward. But but the exit is behind the shoulder on the other side because you can see the arrow.
Yeah, it's
So
crazy.
it's not too far forward. There's no way. There's no
Right.
way that
You don't
anybody
go
could see
through
that
the other
shot.
shoulder and be too far forward.
You can't.
Right.
That's not a thing.
Yeah.
So what happened? I don't know.
Yeah. I think a lot of it is like, I think we talked about too, is like the anatomy of deer.
Mm-hmm.
Like
It's variable.
just like humans.
Yeah.
It's variable. And I was just about to tell Matt before we started like that, when he was wheeling like that, were his lungs compressed because he
Right.
was letting out a bunch of air, where they, like that's like those millimeters of a difference. And then, you go down that rabbit hole of the broadhead, which seems to be the rabbit hole that everybody wants to go down. And it's like, yeah, well, if I was shooting a mechanical, I would have shoulder womped him and he would have ran off with an arrow like this dangling out of his shoulder. That wound channel would have been great if I got a pass through with a mechanical. Yeah, it would have been sweet, but probably wasn't realistic that would have happened.
Right. What was the blood trail like? I watched the video, but I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, and we don't show as much of it because YouTube likes to ding you when you start showing a bunch of blood. But it was like, it took us, just like any fixed blade shot, it took us a little bit to get on blood.
Yeah.
Once we got on it, I mean, we followed it for like 50 yards, and like all three of us are just standing there, like looking ahead. We're like, okay, like where is he? He's just tucked up in some brush, like he's dead. I mean, he poured for a good 80 yards. And I think a lot of that was he was running. So as he was running, that wound was opening up because it's a small cut through the shoulder blade. So you're busting bone and cartilage and stuff. So once he got into like the thicket, he slowed down and started walking. So like that was just covering that wound channel. So it just went from, that deer should be dead anywhere right now to just droplets. Like, I mean, hands and knees, taking 15 minutes to find the next drop of blood. And then we ended up finding him that night alive, and he wasn't bedded down or anything. Was he bedded before we got over him with the drone? Who knows? I don't know. But he was obviously hurting, like you could tell. The only thing I can think of is it was one lung, and you hear stories of deer surviving that stuff. So
I don't see how it couldn't have been one lung. I don't see
Right.
how it couldn't have been.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
Some
And then-
of them do survive.
you got 24 hours from there until, because the kicker was we couldn't go back in and pursue him after we put the drone in the air. So we were fighting with this moral, ethical battle, right? So the deer's there where he was, and I still feel this way. And I know I talked to you for a while about it, is like, I personally don't think that I would have been able to get close enough to that deer to put another arrow in him with where he was because of how thick it was. Yeah. I mean, he's in greenbrier, nasty, nasty stuff. And if I was able to get that close to put another arrow in him, he was dying.
Yeah.
Like he was already dead, basically.
Yep.
So we elected to just not do that, which we couldn't anyway.
Yeah.
Once we put that drone in the air. And thought our best chance of recovering the deer was to fly it the next day. And I mean, we flew it for 2.5 hours and nothing, like no sign of him. So you have all these variables. There was a buck with a doe right where we lost him that night, the next day. So did that buck come in and run him off? Did he end up in the water and gone? Did coyotes get on him and run him 2 miles? There's just all these different variables. And then we grid searched the whole next day, ended up finding where he had bedded. But it was just, it was one of those ones where it's like, and then like we could have put a dog on him, and then it's, if we put a dog on him that night, like we wouldn't have had a chance in hell because they would have just bumped him and he would have been, but like when you look at that, and I'm not going to say too much about that area because it can start to figure out, how, like where we potentially were. but the things that he had to do to get out of the area that we were in where we shot him were significant. It wasn't like just a, flat run. He could run a mile and a half in flat timber. Like there was some significant obstacles that he either was okay or something ran him out of there. And he was, last ditch scenario to stay alive.
Mm-hmm. That kind of messed me up even. I remember I was hunting that big one with a bow here around the same time, and I was thinking of like your shot in my head. I'm sitting in the tree for hours, and I'm like, I don't even know where I want to shoot this thing if it comes in anymore. Because like, that's like kind of where I would have. I mean, not much, but like, I mean, dude, maybe you were that much forward.
Right.
Like maybe. Like, I would have shot the deer in the same place and been like, got him. Like,
let's go get him.
Yeah. That's why it was. I was literally sitting there. I'm like, am I like? And then it's funny because I was running through my head all the deer I've shot with a bow farther forward than that and recovered, and been like, I don't get it. So it just doesn't make.
There's just
sense.
so much going on up there. It's like, how do you not touch something? But what we call that's called Jon Lewis luck. So that's just one of those things. It probably won't happen to. I mean, it does happen to a lot of people. We got a lot of feedback on like, hey, this is a very similar, situation that I had too. Like I called Jake after because immediately I'm like, it looks very similar to where he hit that buck in out west early, and he's like, I don't know if that deer would have died if I didn't shoot him again.
Yeah.
Open country versus timber. Right. Like I couldn't get down and go put another arrow in him because I didn't see him after 2 seconds after I shot him.
So what do you think of the drone thing?
I think.
Okay. Let me rephrase that. How did you, not now? How did you feel about it? Because this is important because you can sit there and not be in a situation where you need a drone, or you could use a drone and feel away or think something about it. But and then it's a different thing when you need one and you're in the situation. I think. Yeah. I think. So how did you feel in that situation, and then like kind of how do you feel now about it? Maybe it's the same, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's a tool. No matter how you look at things, and obviously this is my opinion, a tool in the right hands is a good tool. A tool in the wrong hands is a bad tool. A guy that's using a hammer to hammer a nail in is using the tool the right way. A guy that's using the claw of the hammer to kill somebody is using the tool the wrong way. It's not a good tool at that point. So I think a lot of this comes down to, I think it's a great tool in the right hands. I think it's a really good way. At the end of the day, as sportsmen, we are responsible to do everything in our power to recover a wounded animal. At that point, that's what I thought was the best way that I was going to recover that deer. And I think that they're great for that. I think that they can be used for a lot of bad things. I think that just all, at the end of the day, comes down to one, the person that's using it, and one, the person that's having somebody use it for them. Where your moral line is, and if you can draw that moral line. For example, when I had this guy come out, we don't run cameras, or we just go out there and hunt. And I love that about going on that trip. And I specifically told him, like, I don't want to know what's out there. Like, if you fly over and you see a 200-inch buck, like, just don't even tell me. I don't want to know. But when you look at it from a different mindset, it's a cheat code. Yeah. Like, there's definitely some, like I think about, that spot where the buck I hit was the night before. And when he went up there, there was another buck in that exact spot, which we thought was the deer I shot. So like, I saw that deer, I saw that buck. Yeah. It was a big buck. Yeah. He was bedded down with a doe. It's like, now where's that line? Yeah. Like, most likely the next day, he's probably going to be right in there. So like, you have to have like a very strong moral and ethical code to not, and that's like, it's a temptation, right? So
Yeah.
Well,
But,
think about this too. Like I've thought about this, and I always tend to think, to be transparent, I'm like, how can I use everything to my advantage? That's where my brain goes first. It goes to the like extremely like to the point of unethical, unmoral. As like an exercise, how can I put myself in the best situation? Then sometimes I have to go, yeah, I don't know, that's a little too much. And I get it from like I don't feel good about that. But I'm thinking, what if like I'm thinking about my Iowa hunt and how I was like scouting on the ground and putting up cameras. What if I just went up to all those farms, just flew the drone? What's here? Okay, that one's here. Go to the next one, fly drone. All right, these two, that's what's here. I could like, how effective is that? Insanely effective. Like, like I could have just went right out and it wouldn't have taken that much. It was like more open country. So, I mean, open country, like so easy to like locate those things. Like
for sure.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think that's kind of, I don't know. It's starting, I think first off, I think that's illegal in a lot of places.
For sure.
I don't think it is in every place, but I don't know. It's like,
I think, it all comes down to the person, like how you're using the thing.
Yeah.
A rifle is, a great tool, but if you're driving around your truck and sticking it out the window and shooting deer, like bad people are going to do bad things.
Yep.
Was that
they're going to find a way to do it.
Was that the first time that you've personally used one for anything deer related?
Yeah.
Did you have any other, did you feel differently about it in any way before you needed one yourself?
Yeah, I think and as like for the things that we do, I think I thought about it more of how it would be perceived than how I actually like personally felt about it. And I talked to, people that had used them before, and it kind of, that's kind of where I've it's really hard to have an opinion on something you've never utilized before and you're just looking at it from the outside. But after talking to people that have used it, and like, it kind of made me feel the way I feel about it now, is like, it set the groundwork of like, this is how I'm going to approach it and feel okay with whatever repercussions come from people that are watching this. Because at the end of the day, if I'm okay with how I feel morally and like what I'm doing, then I'm okay. Like the other things may hurt, right? Or like sting or like hit your ego or whatever, however you want to skin it. But like at the end of the day, it's like, what are you okay with?
Well, here's a scenario too. Like this is a pretty like cut and dry one. Cody's buck.
Right.
Can you not fly a drone to find a deer in New York? Okay. If Cody had a drone there, he would have found that deer in 5 minutes, and he would have had his biggest buck ever. He would have got the meat. It would have been perfectly fine. Deer didn't go far. How far did it go? 200?
200.
200 yards. Just
And
went
the dog
into
missed it.
just they walked by it. Even they just missed it. He would have had that deer. Now he's got a skull, which it's cool that he found it.
Has closure.
But that's a way different deal than finding the deer, within, probably that night he would have found it.
Yeah.
So in that case, when
they
you look at
walked
that,
20 yards from that deer 4 times.
yeah, like in that case, I feel like
dragging it out for him to find it.
That's a perfect example of like the proper use and that benefit. Like, didn't make that bad of a shot. Deer didn't go far. He put in the effort. So like all those 3 things are people like, oh, you're just going to make shit shots and then rely on a drone or a dog to find them. Oh, he didn't really do that. The deer died pretty quick. It's not like he tracked it for 2 days and stayed on it. Like, no, that was an example of like, or I think a drone would have been a perfect application and situation for it. In yours too, honestly. It was a little different outcome, but I don't know. But then again, I hear stuff about like, I know in Ohio, as soon as that drone lands, you can go after the deer.
Right.
It's like, whoa.
Yeah.
That's like, yikes.
Yeah, and then you look at it the other way is like, what happens when, for example, where I am and that deer is mortally wounded and is sitting out there suffering and you can't do it. You can't go after it, and then it's like you obviously you have to have a line in the sand somewhere.
And then how do you even know if it's mortally wounded?
Right.
Like
Right.
I would have said yours was, and maybe it was, but it wasn't gonna. I don't
Yeah.
know. It's tough.
Yeah.
It's a tough one.
Yeah. 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 I think it's one of those ones that we're going to see a lot more restrictions on.
Me too.
And I'm not going to say I'm opposed to the restrictions, but to an extent, but at the end of the day, people are going to do what they want with them because you can't enforce it enough to nail people that are doing it. Just like it's just like poaching.
Yeah.
You're not going to catch them all.
Well,
People are going to do that stuff whether it's legal or not.
and there's never going to be a perfect law that's going to perfectly rule or handle
Right.
every situation properly. There's going to be a situation that all ethical and moral, your moral compass is like, this is good, we should use it for this, but I can't, it's illegal.
Right.
And there's going to be situations where, well, there's a loophole in the law and this doesn't really feel right, but it's legal, so it's like, there's always going to have that. So they either go too far or not enough. It's like impossible to set it right in the middle where every situation is, perfectly handled by the law. So I don't know. It's a weird one.
Mm-hmm.
It's,
that was a tough one. I feel like I felt okay. I mean, I wasn't okay with the outcome, but I felt like I played the cards that I got dealt well and had,
that was good.
somewhat of closure. And all I can hope is that deer's fine.
Yeah.
Do I think in my gut he is? No, I think he's dead.
So you'd use one again if you were in a similar situation? Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah, I think you just, going into it with the right mindset is the biggest thing. And, utilizing it for what you're using it for right there and nothing else.
I'll say this. I'd probably use one too. But I think that if I did, I think it would. So, like, imagine you have a hunt. You have a 10 out of 10 experience. You have a beautiful animal, comes in, awesome hunt, whatever. Maybe he's making a scrape. He was rubbing like your New York buck, whatever it is. You shoot him. You make a perfect shot. He runs 80 yards and dies. Then you go up and find him, and then everything's great. You get everything. It's like, that's like a 10 out of 10. But then, like, maybe things happen fast. You make a marginal shot, but you find him pretty quick, and, like, it's all good. But it was kind of like, I got a little hair. Good example is my New York buck, okay? Like, the last one I shot. That wasn't that big a deal, but that wasn't like a 10 out of 10 because things went a little bit freaking wild at the end there. And I feel like when you introduce that stuff, like, you got to find him with a drone or a dog or like it's like, it just kind of like,
for sure,
the experience isn't, it's like, you don't feel good about it. It's about that part of it. You're like, man, I didn't do as good as I could have if I have to use this. No, it's not like, so I guess what I'm saying is the ideal hunt, you don't want to have to use a drone. You don't want to have to rely on that technology and that tool, but you just get into a situation where it's necessary and you think it's the best thing to do for everything involved, the animal, the whole thing. So I don't think, I guess what I'm saying by that, or my point is that it's not like, shoot him up, let's throw the drone up and find him. Like, that's not what I don't want that. Like, I don't want the drone. I don't want a dog. Like, no, like, that means that I failed to do my job. So
it's similar with the mindset of shoot them back and find them the next day.
I would agree with that. Although some people won't, that's fine. Yeah. I would 100% agree. Yeah. That mindset is not for me. I can tell you that.
No.
So yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
After that, did you go home, start hunting at home after that trip?
Yeah. We were out there I shot that buck the second day, and I had basically Monday through Friday to hunt.
Yeah.
And so we got out there, hunted Monday evening, shot that buck hunted Monday evening, hunted Tuesday, and then hunted Tuesday evening and had a really good hunt where I ended up killing him. Shot that buck Wednesday morning. So we looked for him all Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and then came back. And then I sat on that one until rifle season, which is only like 10 days. But yeah, that one, I still look at that video and just kind of like shake my head at it.
Yeah, I think we all have them.
What I know at home you guys were having some wild weather stuff going on with the drought, which seemed like it was pretty different compared to where you had been on the trip that you're talking about. So what did you have to do different at home this year compared to what you've done in the past? Because I know you said that deer just weren't where they usually are.
Yeah, I think, well, the spot where I killed my buck didn't have acorns for the year I found it was the last year it had acorns, and I scouted and found kind of all the sign there, and that was 4 years ago. And then last year so I was hunting deer in that area that weren't really utilizing that food source. And then last year it had acorns, um, and I was completely out of the game because I was hunting it like I was used to. Well, I guess I didn't really hunt it because I shot that buck opening day, but from scouting and everything like that. And then this year it had acorns, but it seemed like early in the season there was not deer up high. Like all the food was there and everything like that, but it was so dry that all the deer that I was finding and sign I was finding was low, which is very different than years past. Usually I'm hunting deer fairly high.
Shirk said the same thing too.
Yeah, like it was like creek systems, moisture soil, north facing slopes, stuff that had moisture was where the deer were. You could have all the acorns in the world if it was open timber and there wasn't a water source. There was just nothing. Same with like scrapes and stuff. Like I didn't find much for scrapes that were opened up. We did that one hunt where we just did like a 2-day thing, and that was the same exact deal. We went to a whole new area, and the only place we found deer was in a swamp. Like we scouted a bunch of stuff, got into, things that normally deer would be in, and it was just like they were there in the summer when the browse and stuff was still had moisture in it just because it was summer, and they were gone. And then once we got into the swamp, it was like, holy crap, they're all right here. And they were super focused around water. But that lasted probably until like mid-October, and then we got a bunch of rain and moisture, and then it was just like everything was like back up to where it normally was. But I mean, I can't imagine like, munching on acorns all day with no water around and no like browse, like, like I can't imagine deer wanting to do that. So it just shifts, and it was shifting. I think it shifted a lot more throughout the season than it normally does. Like usually you have a pocket where they're kind of around, obviously the rut and everything like that. But like this year it seemed like they were just kind of like boop, 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 once that moisture came in. And then late, we had like late, we had snow, and then we had ice, and it was like that ice hit, and it was like 2 inches of ice, and all those deer were off the tops. Like when Eli and I hunted, we went to go scout an area, and where I knew there was a pile of oaks, and they just weren't even in it. It's like, this is where the food is, but they couldn't get to it, and they were all down in like hemlocks and stuff where there was, ferns, a lot of ferns that were sticking up out of the snow where they could actually feed on stuff. And I think the area I'm in too is like a little different than like, straight timber. Like those deer can actually get down into the valleys and get into like crops if they wanted to, or, ag fields where, a deer, around you, they don't even have that option. So yeah. I don't know how it would be, if that option wasn't available, but if it's available and if it's within, a couple miles, like they're probably going to go there. But yeah, the drought early I think it was just a weird year all around for, especially like scrape. I mean, I shot my buck on a scrape, but like I never had like anything that was super hot.
I didn't either.
No.
Not at all. Like it was really off. And I feel like
not until,
but even when they started to hit them maybe in daylight, it was like not consistent. Like it was like a scrape here, oh, buck hit, and it's like 4 days later, scrape over there. There wasn't like, oh, that scrape's getting hit every other day or every day. Yeah. By any age buck, it was like nothing.
And the amount of deer that just walked by them and like just didn't care. Like when the spot we were hunting in PA, it's like that's like a super hot main hub scrape, and the amount of bucks that just were just like, even on our cameras and like hunting there, they just never even touched it. They just walked right by it, like didn't care about it, which is super weird. And I've talked to a decent amount of people, and they're like, yeah, like I've seen the same thing. I mean, Shirk did too, like, I mean, it was different. I don't know. Maybe it's because every scrape has a camera on it nowadays, and they just don't want to go.
Wow. That's what I'm saying. Every scrape we're talking about does.
Yeah, right.
That's might be. They're getting wise. I don't know. There may be something to that. Yeah, it's funny how, man, you're gonna get me. I feel like I'm putting my tinfoil.
Yeah, you went down that you went down that hole a couple times already.
Yeah, got my trail camera, scrape tinfoil.
Keep your eye on Facebook Marketplace if you want to pick up some trail cameras from Brett. He's selling them all. I will say though, I've had a lot of I like cameras. They're cool, and I've got myself mentally to the point where I don't chase them like I used to.
Yeah.
But it is fun not knowing.
Oh, yeah.
And just going hunting. Like I really enjoy that. Like that trip where I shot that buck. It was just like, let's just go hunt, and like you think about things just a little bit differently. And I had just as much success doing that as I did using cameras. And I think it's definitely something that I'm gonna do more of. I'm gonna utilize cameras, but not for everything.
Yeah.
Like I'm glad that I utilized them for the one area I hunt because they got smoked with EHD, and it's like I've got 4 days. I know they got hammered with EHD. Like I don't want to take my 4-day or 5-day trip and go hunt a place where there's just no deer because they're all dead.
Yep.
So like I think that's where in years past I just went and hunted there, but in that situation it was like, hey, throw a camera up there. I'm glad we did because we got like 1 2-year-old the whole season.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy.
Yeah. And like does and stuff, but it was just like, well, I'm glad I didn't choose that place for my rut trip.
Holy crap. That's really bad.
So.
Jeez.
But,
yeah. Wow. That's something.
But like that muzzleloader buck I shot, where we do our deer camp, like we just decided like, let's just not run cameras there anymore. Let's just go hunt it. And that was super cool because it was like, I didn't know, like it made sense in my mind that if there was a good buck in that area, he would be in that pocket, and he was. I didn't know what he was, but like it's cool when you just like think about it and how you perceive it in your mind and like go and it works out. That doesn't happen all the time, but when it does, it's like that was fun.
Did you grab the teeth from that buck?
The teeth?
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't sent them in yet though.
I'm curious.
Yeah, I am too. That's another cool thing about cameras is you have a good idea of, what age class it is. I'd be very surprised if he was younger than 4.
Yeah.
I think there's a good chance he was 4.5, maybe 5.5.
If you guys
That's like what's that?
I said if they want to go to Deerage.com, we have a discount code, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just Hunt Club.
Yep.
Is it just all one word, or is it? Yeah.
I think it's all one word.
So yeah, that's sweet. So you're gonna send that. That's like my Iowa buck. I was actually surprised. Actually, the last 2 bucks I've killed west late season, I've been surprised at the age. Like that Ohio buck I killed last year was 4. Mm-hmm. That kind of surprised me.
That was
I mean, I see it now, but I didn't. I mean, surprised me a little bit. It's I probably would have guessed 5. I don't know. I have no idea. It's tough late season too to know what you're looking
for sure.
at. But then the Iowa buck was 5, and I would have thought he was older.
Yeah.
But they grow big fast in Iowa, apparently.
Yeah.
Like mind blowing.
Yeah, late season's tough for sure. It's like, well, how much? What did that deer? Let me see him in October, and I could probably have a better guess on what he looks like compared to. That end of December. That
deer would have looked insane in October because he looked big and still in the end of December.
Yeah.
He was huge. So.
I'm real curious on that PA buck I shot too.
Yeah.
That one will be an interesting one.
What's your guess?
I don't know. It's hard. He's either super old or he's just 5. I think I think he's older than 5.
Yeah.
He was so run down. Hips, you could see his hips. Whole spine was just he was skin and bones. He ran it hard.
Yeah.
Hard. And I shot him, not crazy far from where we were bow hunting, mile and a half. And another perfect example of cameras. We never got pictures of that deer. Not one picture of him, which is interesting for where he was because it was the same ridge system. He was just way back in there.
Yeah.
But that one will be cool. That one will be super cool.
I completely forgot to pull a tooth from the bottom jaw on my New Hampshire deer before I got rid of all of it. So I'm gonna have to just pop one off the back of the Euro.
Oh, yeah, you can do that.
Yeah.
That's actually why some of these ones are missing teeth, other than I boiled them too long. But that is why they're missing teeth.
Yeah, I'll just take one from the back. It's in the back corner. You won't see it.
Yeah, that'll be fine.
That was a sweet deer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to know. Maybe maybe he's not that old, but
he's 5+. I would bet a lot on it. Just looking at him.
Yeah.
Maybe older.
I've been thinking of actually I don't know. I was just thinking about it randomly recently, and it had kind of dawned on me because I had that doe came back in as I was just hanging out with the deer, just taking pictures and stuff, and had that doe come back in, and she would not leave that buck alone. She came up to 15, 20 yards and she walked over to a scrape, licked the branch, and then she was just looking at the buck, sniffing the air. And I had bumped 2 deer, so I'm wondering if he was just locked with that doe. And he kind of did a big loop because there was it was this thicker patch, probably 100 yards across of thicker bedding type stuff, little wet spot, and they both kind of went out and towards that. And then he came in, it would have made perfect sense if he got bumped out through that and then just did a loop around and was trying to get back with that doe.
Well, maybe they're both gonna get back with each other, and you were just in the middle of them.
Yeah, I think that
makes sense.
I think I ruined their day.
I think I ruined their day.
Well, it just didn't make sense. If I bumped 2 does and that one came right back in, I feel like I would have seen the other one at some point.
Yeah. No, it makes sense. Well, I think it's that time of year. That's where you can get away with that type of stuff because they're. What was the date again?
The 14th.
Yeah. Prime time. Mm-hmm. Hey, didn't you kill a big one in New Hampshire on the 14th, John? I think it was the 14th.
Yeah, that was a decent buck.
Yeah, it was all right.
Yeah.
That's another one that wasn't as old as we thought. 4 years old.
Yeah, he was 4.5. Yeah.
Crazy.
Should have passed him.
Nah, can't pass that one. Can't pass that one.
That was my favorite. Put me somewhere where you don't care what gets shot.
Yeah.
And I shoot the biggest buck.
The biggest 4-year-old in the freaking state. The biggest 4-year-old in the state. That's funny.
That's the thing with the Jon Lewis luck. You get one of those every now and then.
Yeah.
You get a lot of bad luck, and then you get some real good luck.
Yep, you'll get it.
How much harder did you work for that PA buck than that one?
It was a different hard. I didn't have a pack full of pots and pans to make noodles.
So ridiculous.
No, the PA buck was definitely harder, for sure. I mean, where I killed that New Hampshire buck wasn't easy by any means. But
just didn't take you long.
It didn't take me long. Yeah, that PA buck took a lot of keep going type mentality instead of just screwing off like I did in New Hampshire and got lucky. Because it's you hit that 230 mark when you're tracking and you're just damn it, it's gonna be really really tough. But then it's at 245 you kill one.
Is that what time you shot him?
Yeah, we cut his track at 240 and I killed him at 247.
That's pretty good.
But it took us until about 2 to cut a fresh track.
Yeah.
And then we cut that little buck track, and it was that 230 feeling. I'm whatever. What else? Let's just take it and see what happens. Mm-hmm. And luckily, it took us to that one, and it was we just looked down and we're okay, yeah, we'll run this one till dark. That's a big track.
Do you think about too, if you can't find a track and how it's I'm gonna step over this little one, not big enough, keep going, but How many times did deer take you to other deer? It happens every time I track. What?
Mm-hmm.
Can you think of a track where the deer didn't take you to another deer?
Right.
No.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I
Like,
can.
So
I can. The one me and Matt tracked for like 9 miles in New Hampshire that took
I think
us.
we
it
talked
didn't take
about
us
that in
to
the
a
last
deer, it took
podcast.
us to
He took us to a
multiple
group of does.
townships.
Yeah, he took us to a group of does. It was just a lot of miles in
Yeah.
between.
Yeah.
Before
oh,
went
he
and
didn't.
found
He
them.
didn't cut anything else between the two.
No.
Oh,
Not
no.
Just
really.
him.
No.
He was just going.
No. That was terrible. I mean, it wasn't terrible. I'm so glad that you could pick us up. Like, I don't know if we would have made it.
Dude, that
We
I
were
was telling.
so
It
far.
was Scotty. We were talking. I think it
Yeah.
was Scotty.
I don't know. We
Lego.
talked about it a lot. It
But
just keeps going.
I was talking about how it was like a half an hour drive to get you guys back to the truck on the roads.
Yeah.
Yeah. Me and Matt are just like, he's gonna bed.
Yeah.
Like, he's gonna bed. It's, December 8th. Like, it was the last day of rifle season, I think.
Yeah.
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 Well, he kept coming up to these
Like, he's
perfect spots
Yeah.
to bed, and he was acting like he was going to, and then he would just
Just
go up
keep
and
on
over and keep
trucking?
going.
Nope.
God damn it.
Yeah. I don't know where he wanted to go, but he wanted to get there fast. I mean, he had to have dropped off that mountain, walked right through town, and went up another mountain. I mean, we like ran him into town. Probably
so
ran into
weird.
somebody's backyard with a bird feeder or something like that.
Did you get into that stuff? So it was so dark and there's so much snow when I
Yeah,
got to
we
you
never
guys.
we never got off the top really. Like
No,
we ran
I
out
mean-
of light before he dropped. He like dropped where you picked us up.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
was like
He had
we
gone
ended
across
at
that
that
road.
top before we dropped down.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, that thing was on a mission. That was like one that you find in the Adirondacks on November 7th, and you're like, hey, yeah, maybe I can catch up to him. And it's like, no, he's just beelining. I mean, the only thing he had to have come in there, messed around with those, and was just like, I'm gonna go home now. And we just were the unlucky bastards that cut his track going home.
Well, that's what I said. I was like, there was that buck, and I don't know if it was him. I think it was the night before or something it was shortly before you went in there. He was in there, and I remember like, oh, what's that buck? I don't know him. That's a big buck, but I don't know which one it is. That's probably the one you caught, and then he just took you all the way back to where he came from. It's like,
Yeah.
it's so demoralizing too when you're tracking those things for like a while, and they're like climbing, and you're like, all right, and they kind of get like they might bed, and then they just go boop, and they just keep going. You're like, okay,
Yep.
okay,
Yeah.
stay on them. It's like the second one, you're like, I don't know if I'm gonna catch this damn thing.
Third one maybe you
Yeah.
will. And yeah. I
I
forget what we did. We were on that buck, I think, for what was it, like 7 or 8 miles?
Yeah,
it was long. It was long.
Snow was pretty deep.
Because, I was hurting pretty bad after that.
Oh, fun stuff. So
But then you get one like the one I shot. It's like you're on them for 5 minutes.
It can happen.
That's the way it goes.
What do you got?
That's why we keep doing
Have you been thinking about next year, or just too busy trying to get caught up from this year?
A little bit. I mean, I feel like I need some redemption back where I shot that. I'd like to do that again.
Mm-hmm.
I love PA. I'm gonna just keep diving into more and more.
Yep.
I felt really good about that because I feel like we got a pretty good grasp on that section that we hunted this year.
Yep.
To where I'm gonna go check out some other stuff.
In that same area.
Yeah, just like go find another area and have some more options.
Oh, okay.
So I feel like we have that pretty good to where it's like, we missed the window a couple times. So it's like if you can be here these days and like park it.
Yeah.
And me and Kyle missed it by a day each time.
Yeah, I think it's good that you have kind of dove head first into that, and they're gonna.
Yeah, and I just love that area out there. It's just beautiful, and
especially
it's
that time
game
too.
rich.
Like
Yeah.
the time frame when you killed your buck last year, it was like
That was
gorgeous woods.
But you say the timing, but like Shirk says, seems like it changes every year.
Yeah,
I actually
the day I
want to
killed
get him
my
on.
buck last year was also the best day this year he had for mature buck movement.
Was it?
What? Whoa. What? Say it again.
When I killed my bow buck, not this last fall.
Yes.
Out there. This fall, it might have been different, but at the time that I talked to him, he said that day was the best day that he had this year as well.
So
The
2 years in a
26th,
row
2 years in
on
a
the 20.
25th or 26th.
That's depressing. Cause
When did you kill? When did you
I
kill?
think I
mine?
was there. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna look. That's depressing.
And
And
that-
I didn't do very good.
That lined up pretty spot on with what we saw too on our cameras.
What day was I?
But yeah, it's an awesome area out there. And I think there's, Pennsylvania in general just has so many opportunities of different type of stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. I had that like Western kind of itch for a little bit, but I don't know. I think a lot of it is too just, with the time that, I can be gone and want to be gone.
Yeah.
Is these like 4 or 5 day windows. And I feel like that's like a really nice time frame to go hunt because you have this mentality of like, I've got this amount of time, I need to do this. And it kind of it's like a happy medium of your aggressiveness. And it also like, once it's done, it's done. And honestly, I after 5 days, like I like to be back home with my family.
Yeah.
So it's kind of it's a good spell. But I don't know. I'll probably just kind of keep riding that, home turf area, some of the Midwest. Is that when you were there? Yeah.
Yeah. I was there
Yeah.
on the 25th in the tree morning and
Well,
evening. I think I saw one buck.
Because Kyle was out there too, right?
He got there. I think we were maybe there for one day. He was there the last day I was there. What?
Mm-hmm.
No. Because we ate dinner twice together. Maybe
because
2
I
days.
met Eli out there.
Yeah.
Because he left Eli out there. Yeah,
Yeah.
so that buck that we were after was there basically every day that we weren't. Like Kyle missed because he was supposed to be there the day before he was there that day. I was supposed to be there to hunt that next morning, and my truck, I had all those issues with my truck, so I didn't get out there until the evening.
That's right.
He was there that morning, and it was like 3 or 4 days in a row he was there.
Dude, I was there in great weather. Like, look at that day. Oh, it was cold. It was perfect.
But
I'll have to try again. I'll have to try again if I'm not obsessed with a New Hampshire buck or a New York buck. We'll see.
And then hopefully, I don't know, might have something on the new place if all goes through.
Yeah.
Which we're getting close. So that'll be interesting and kind of something a little different than what I'm used to. I mean, I'm going to always just kind of go on and hunt the public stuff. I just like the adventure of it, but it'll be nice to have something in the backyard to just, the public stuff's awesome and I absolutely love it. And I know we've talked about Brett, it's hard to give back to that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can in different ways, right? But a lot of times it's a take.
Yep. Take.
Yeah, you can't go out and hinge cut and create browse and create habitat like you're relying on the state to do that. So I'm excited to have something that I can give back more than because I've taken over the years. So that'll be fun, a fun adventure. And I love doing that stuff. Like that's what I wanted to do, growing up and everything like that. And I really haven't been able to do it here unless it's, helping you or Eric out.
Mm-hmm.
So that's exciting.
I think it gets a bad rap for some reason.
What's that?
Right.
Just like the private land, like managing, improving the habitat. I don't think that part. It's just like it's weird because like everybody used to want to get on private land. That was the goal,
right.
And it was like, well, I'll hunt public because that's all I have, and then it's like became super cool to hunt public, and I understand why. But that doesn't mean that it's not because it's cool to hunt public. Doesn't mean it's uncool, to hunt private or like it still isn't. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's just a very weird.
People kind of turn their nose to it a little bit.
I think it's a lot of people look at it as just like anything is the money aspect of it.
Yeah.
But it's like also at the same time like I don't make money. Like it's still even if you don't own land. To work with a landowner and these places that you have permission on, like, you can still do stuff there to help. And if there's a time that wildlife needs our help, it's now and in the future because that stuff is going away more than we'd like it to. So, I think it's important.
Yeah, we were looking at my little board at the farm the other day. And, you talk about take, and like we give so much more to those acres than we take.
Mm-hmm.
We take does but that's giving. It's almost giving by taking the does out of there, right?
Right.
But like I look at the board and like we added the third buck in 3 years on multiple properties, and I think we've shot. I think we were either, I don't remember the numbers, but we're either at 25 or 30 deer in 3 years off these places, and it's like $3 and like 17 does or like 20.
Right.
What, I don't know what the number is. It's a lot, but it's like it just shows it's like it's not what people think it is.
Yeah, it's not easy no matter.
No,
how
it can be really good. Don't get me wrong. It can be awesome.
Right.
And it could be a way better, or I don't know about better, but a way easier and big buck filled experience than it could be on public potentially. But most of the time, it's not that. So.
Yeah. Well, it's just the time that you dedicate is in different things.
Yeah.
You're not dedicating your time on private to the scouting, and I mean you are, but you're pretty much doing that.
Yeah, you
once.
can't. Well, if you got a private piece, like
building it, you
don't.
can't. You're
what are you
just
gonna do?
Scout.
It's the same stuff. You've already walked it,
Right.
especially from a guy like you or me that's walked thousands of acres of public mountains and ridges and timber. It's like I can scout a farm in like a day or two and know everything I need to know for the next 5 years. Like
right. Your time is enhancing the habitat, planting food plots, fixing shit that you break because you're breaking stuff all the time.
Yeah.
Where like a guy that's hunting public is spending his time boots on the ground, running around.
Which is awesome too. That's great.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Spending more time in a tree compared to striking at the perfect time.
Right.
But I mean, I've hunted less in the last 2 years than I have in the years past.
Yeah.
And I've found I've killed two bucks off private, where we do our rifle camp. Everything else is public stuff. So I think a lot of it is too just at the end of like we always talk about time, and that's just kind of beating a dead horse. Is like the perfect example is that muzzleloader buck I shot. It's on my buddy Ethan's family farm. I wanted him to go, but he has a 9 to 5 job Monday through Friday.
Yeah.
The way I work is I could just go because it looked good.
Yeah.
Like he couldn't.
Mm-hmm.
He just couldn't go. I would have much rather had him there to shoot that deer, but it's like, well, hey, dude, it looks really good. If you can't go, somebody should go.
Yeah.
So I went. And I think that's the variable that, if you want to do it and be successful a lot, is you kind of got to set your life up to be able to strike at those times, or not care about your job and just go, which is what I would do if I had a job like him. I would just be like,
or just don't care about the result as much, which is fine too.
Right.
Like, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yep.
Some people aren't, so they're more experience driven than result driven, and some are both, whatever. Everybody has their own thing, but yeah, it's cool. I like to have a little mix of both for sure. I'll tell you, like lately I've been getting real big into the management stuff more than anything. Not that, and I think we talked about it recently, but it's like I enjoy the management way more at this point than anything other than the actual hunt, like sitting in the tree. I almost enjoy the actual hunt itself more on like big woods,
right?
Maybe not public all the time, but oftentimes public mountain stuff. I enjoy that. That seems like a better experience, actual hunt itself. But everything up to it, I feel like I really enjoy the management stuff. The hunt's fun too. Don't get me wrong; it's pretty sweet. But it's just it's like it's just like the culmination of everything. It's just part like a smaller part of it, I think, than it is in some other situations.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's cool when you get into those big chunks too. It's like, the closest person to you might be 10 miles away.
Yeah, it's fun.
Where it's like, even if you own 300 acres, the closest person to you is probably less than a mile away.
Oh, yeah. Oh, probably a few hundred yards, honestly.
Yeah, you're just out there. And it's just natural. There's nothing.
Yeah.
It's just natural. So the other thing next year, this is a new one that Brett and I just talked about, is we're going to try to get a southern deer. Bama buck.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
That will not be on
I
public.
want to dive into Jersey too more. It's just the time thing. I've got a bone to pick with
Are you
those.
going?
I don't think I can with this house stuff. I'd like to. It looks so good.
Yeah.
And everybody down there is just like done. Like they're just burned. Like I don't want to deal
How
with
far
it.
is it?
It's like 4 hours. It's not bad.
I feel like you could get out there for a couple of nights. One night.
Where is
Leave in
this?
the morning, hunt the evening, stay that night, hunt the next day, then drive home that night. You could do it.
I might. I don't know. We'll see
You
what pops up over the weekend here.
You should.
Yeah, because that's like that's what you wait for down there.
Oh,
like
yeah.
They don't get that weather.
That's what I'm saying. They're going to be
snow,
like,
it's like,
oh yeah.
yeah.
I'd do
Get
it.
a potato pile buck.
There you go. Is that what they're feeding them?
Yeah, sweet potatoes.
Oh, no
and,
shit.
Sugar beets.
Where do they even get those?
Yeah, that's big down there. They
Oh, the
just buy it from
farms?
farmers. Yeah,
Oh, I didn't know that.
yeah,
Oh, shit.
yeah.
Huh.
So, and there's some good ones. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
that area blows my mind with the genetics of deer that come. I'm like, what? Like these things live in the freaking pines.
Anymore, John, I feel like there's just big deer everywhere.
Yeah.
Anywhere can have a big deer.
Right.
Literally, like.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised anymore. Like, oh, wow, that came from where? No shit. Well, I guess there's some
Yeah.
big deer there sometimes, too. It's like,
Yeah.
they kind of I mean, obviously, there's areas that tend to have bigger deer than others and more bigger deer than others, but it seems like it can be kind of anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Just takes a little bit of a right situation and anywhere, and boom, there's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
pretty cool. Well, anything else to discuss?
We could start thinking about turkeys soon, but it's still a little early.
I'm way early on that.
Yeah.
Dude, we're getting, like, nope, not doing that. Can't turn that on yet. Gotta push that back down. Maybe tuck it into your belt loop.
Yeah, exactly.
Plastic band.
Yeah, once we start getting some like 40-degree days, I'll start
Yeah.
thinking about that.
You know what's funny is I'm on some of these cells from Iowa when I hunted. Dude, there's so many turkeys out there.
Oh yeah.
It was insane.
Silly.
Every farm is loaded with giant toms
Yeah.
with paintbrushes hanging off the front of them. It was like, geez.
Well, Iowa's a draw for non-residents for turkeys too, isn't it?
Yeah. Weird.
It's crazy. Yeah.
It's probably why there's so many.
That day we had last week or the week before that it poured rain for like 2 days.
Yeah.
Got like 20 notifications on one of my cameras that the batteries haven't died yet because I just haven't gone and picked them up yet. And there had to be 50 turkeys in front of this thing.
Really?
Yeah. It was,
In Oaks or?
yeah. It's on public.
Yeah.
Just-
Just-
It seems like we had a good hatch of turkeys this year around
Yeah.
us. I mean, when I shot that muzzleloader buck, we saw a flock of 100.
was there that many in that field?
Yeah.
Oh,
There was two groups. So we went where we first tried to set up. There was a group of like 50 up there. And then we moved to the other spot and another group of like 50 came up out of the timber there. And there's a pile of them, which is good to see. And I've seen a lot just in general in this area, which I think a lot of it comes down to like we had such a wet spring last year that a lot of farmers weren't able to get on their fields, which saved a lot of poults, especially in this area. When you're talking dairy farms with hay and that triticale and stuff, like they're always smashing that triticale in May, and it's like there they go. Like that's the only habitat for the nesting habitat in a lot of this ag country. So it should be cool to see that, and hopefully we just have better weather.
The new farm's got birds on it too. I'm excited about that.
Yeah, you said yeah, that's cool.
And I don't think it's just like a fall thing because I remember last year it was like April 30th, day before opener. I went by it and I watched one walk into it. Of course, I didn't own it then, so I couldn't hunt it. We're still hadn't closed, but so that's exciting. Like I don't know, turkeys.
Yeah, because that's even Trevor he sent me a video by their farm of a huge flock, flock. So
that would be cool if they came back strong in that area, but it is what it is.
Yeah,
you have a lot of coyotes.
No, not a ton. There's some for sure, but we got a ton of red foxes, so we don't have a lot of coyotes.
That's kind of surprising.
I know.
Farming practices, I think, just nuke those birds up there.
Yep. Big ag country. It's tough on them. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming on, John. Giving us your season update. You'll have to come on again. Tell us about how your shot IQ, or is that what they call it? Shot IQ journey is going.
Yeah, I've had the the program for over a year now. I think I got through like the third lesson. I've never been a very good school guy, so
This summer, I'm gonna call you every day. How's that shot IQ coming, John?
Well,
We're gonna
like,
come
take-
you in
well,
for
I
like
should be-
monthly checkups.
You like take your phone.
I
How
should
long
be
is
able
the
to
program?
I don't know. It's probably longer than I was in college for. At least a semester's worth of work.
we gotta figure something out, or think of something that means enough to you that if we take it away
Yeah.
until you finish it,
Yeah.
that you'll do it.
Yeah. Well, the good thing is, hopefully at this new place, I'll actually be able to shoot in the basement and stuff, which
Like-
will help through these winter months.
I just figured it out. You can't have bush light until you finish the program.
Good thing is they make other types of beer, buddy. I go on a cleanse until I Robin Hood 3 in a row.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. We will see you on the next one.